In this lecture, we talk about different kinds of waves. So we will talk about the complete electromagnetic spectrum. So we start by talking about radio waves. So number one, we talk about radio waves. So these radio waves are very important. They are used in communication in TV and radio. So these are produced by accelerated motion of charge in conducting wires. So you take the charge and you pass them in conducting wires with a fast motion and you get radio waves. Now these have a frequency from 500 kilohertz to 1000 megahertz, and as I said before, they are used in radio and TV communications. The second kind of waves we will talk about is microwaves. Now you already know that microwaves are used in standard microwave. So these are produced by special vacuum tubes. So these special vacuum tubes are called klystrons or magnetrons. Now these have a frequency, so the microwaves have a frequency, and this frequency matches the resonant frequency of water. So when the frequency of the microwave matches the resonant frequency of the water, the energy from the waves is transferred to water, and this makes water warmer. So when you microwave food, it is the water in the food which gets warmer, and that warm water basically warms up the food. So if you put something in the microwave which has no moisture, then that body will not get warmed up. So the body gets warmed up in the microwave precisely because the water in that body gets warmed up. Now we talk about infrared waves. Now these infrared waves, these are produced by hot bodies or molecules at very high temperature. So these are also called heat waves. So for example, when iron is extremely hot, it emits infrared rays. Now we talk about visible rays. Now human eyes can see because they are sensitive to visible rays. So these rays are emitted by the sun. So again I will say human eyes are sensitive to these kind of rays. So they are sensitive to visible rays, and visible rays are emitted by the sun. So visible rays are a small part of rays which are emitted by the sun, but human eye helps us to see things. So for example, when you're seeing this lecture, you are seeing this in the visible ray format. So other animals have eyes that are sensitive to other parts of the spectrum. For example, the snake can see infrared rays. So for example, if it is completely dark, the human eyes would not be able to see anything, but a snake can spot a warm human body or a warm body of a rat because it can see infrared rays. Now we talk about gamma rays. So the gamma rays, these are emitted by decaying radioactive material. So for example, these are emitted by uranium. So if you keep a film, like a photograph film, next to uranium and there is no light at all, still the photograph film will take a photograph of the uranium kept next to it in the absence of visible light, and that is because of gamma rays. In fact, that is how the gamma rays were discovered. Now we talk about ultraviolet rays. Now ultraviolet rays, these are produced by specially designed lamps. So specially designed lamps or very hot bodies. So for example, sun emits UV rays, and these UV rays are absorbed in the ozone layer in the atmosphere. Now UV rays are very harmful for human skin. They can cause cancer. So X-rays, now we talk about, we all have known about X-rays. So X-rays help us determine problems with our bones. If there is a fracture or anything, you go to a doctor and get an X-ray. Now these X-rays, these are generated by bombarding a metal target by a beam of high energy electrons. Now, X-rays are a diagnostic tool in medicine. If you break a bone or something, you can take an X-ray and see from where it is broken. And it is also used for treatment of certain forms of cancer. But also, if you are exposed to X-ray for a long amount of time, you could also develop cancer.